Hey guys, welcome back. Today we have another channeled message for you. First off, there's a lot of things that have been changing in the past week. If you haven't felt it, you may be picking it up in the next 2 weeks. We have the Aquarius eclipse coming up next week, and that is in 28 degrees Aquarius for the new moon. And this will usher in a lot of that Aquarian energy if you haven't been feeling that from Pluto being in Aquarius. But this energy will take place in the next half a year of your life. So eclipse season, there's a lot of things that are changing and fated to happen. And depending on where Aquarius sits in your chart, that is the area that will be changing, as well as any aspects and planets, if you have any, around 25 degrees Aquarius to 2 degrees Pisces. That being said, today's message is more about the upgrades that you may have been feeling. Maybe you've been more tired or maybe more wired and you can't sleep. Maybe you're having headaches, heart palpitations, anxiety. All of these things are actually pushing you to accelerate your ascension. And you may have been feeling it for the past week, or maybe you just feel extremely tired. You might even feel extremely aggravated, and that's all normal. Because Saturn is also in 29 degrees Pisces, and we are at the last bits of the purge of your old life. Once Saturn moves into Aries next week, you will start noticing that things are starting to move. And remember when I said, now is the time for you to start planning what you want to do with your life? You're gonna start seeing that some of these things will take action, or you're starting to see it bloom. That being said, these next 2.5 years when Saturn is in Aries will be a huge deal for the new leaders that are stepping in. Now, I want you to keep in mind that Neptune is now in Aries. So as much as there are new leaders rising, there's also a lot that isn't real. They know what to say, they say all of the right things, but are they truly living that? Are they truly embodying that? Are they truly present in their body with what they're saying? And this is the discernment that is being pushed through. So if you've been feeling the purge, you may notice that more and more people are pissing you off, or they just don't resonate. You might even find that some people, there isn't really a clear thing that bothers you about them, but there's something that is off. And now is very important for you to trust your body. Because as we continue to see things unfold, where new things are being pushed to the light, how we've been in the dark for a lot of things, how we've been sold lies, we've been told X, Y, and Z, but the truth is it was not even close to that. We're seeing the challenges between what they say they are and what they actually are. And these next 2 years, this will continue to go further in. And why that's even important now is that you're starting to see the truth. You're starting to see what they've been telling you, what they've been selling you, and whether that really aligns with what they say they do. And this is even more important for you because, as you know, you're meant to lead. And maybe that has made you feel uneasy because what does that mean? But leaders don't always have to be in the forefront. You could be a leader in your home. You could be a leader in your community. And that community could just be your clubs, your teams, the people you care about. There's so many different definitions of what being a leader is, that as long as you are trying to be what you say you are and you're trying to make an impact, you are already a leader. Now, I know for some of you it may be uncomfortable to own that title, and we don't need to limit ourselves to anything, but it is very important to recognize the work that you do here. You're meant to make that impact. You're meant to change the world. And I don't say that lightly, because you already know you do this in your everyday. People notice the things that you do. People care about the things that you do. People watch you, even when you're just living your day and you're wondering why. But it's because you're meant to have this aura around you that attracts the right people to watch you, to follow you, because you were always meant to lead. Now, these upgrades will be for the next 2 weeks. We are changing seasons. We will be in Pisces season soon, but also we will be moving into the horse year. And so there's going to be a lot of movement, which I've already mentioned before. And I've also mentioned that it is very important to ground, and that people will be looking at you for grounding when things are moving so fast. We always think things moving fast is great, especially when you're stuck in a really bad situation or a really bad rut. However, sometimes it's important to slow down, review, and look at where you are. Because sometimes you might be building too fast and you're overlooking the small details that makes a big difference. It's like you needed to use wood, but instead you used steel, because steel makes more sense. It makes sense because it's sturdy. It makes sense because it's more durable.